Once upon a time, the rainy season came to the forest, as it must come every year. But this time there was more rain than ever before. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. At night the water fell with a roar like thunder. In the morning it beat against the branches of the trees, and tore the leaves from them. It pounded against the thatched roofs of the villages, and rushed about the footpaths. Little girls set pots up under the sky to catch the water, and ran back, slipping and sliding. The small, friendly rivers became deep and wide, and covered the sides of their lakes. During the darkness, the people fastened their doors and did nothing, not even look outside, for they could hear nothing but rain, rain, rain. The animals in the forest too were frightened by all the water. Hare could not find meadows of grass for his dinner. Elephant could not walk through the trees to chew the young branches. Tortoise could not crawl slowly along the earth to catch insects. And Spider, who had been too lazy to plant his farm or to set his fish traps, had nothing to eat at all. Worst of all, the great leopard, who hunts at night, was hungry, and had to stalk the forest during the day. One afternoon, after many days, the rain stopped. Spider set out at once to look for something to eat. He went down the wide path that led to the river. Leopard was hunting too, with a hungry look in his eye. He walked quietly, on his 4 soft feet, along the path that led to the river. That is how that Spider and Leopard walked right into each other. Now usually Leopard loves a fat, juicy supper. He never thinks of anything as puny as Spider. But today he thought even Spider would taste good. So he stopped to chat and tried to look friendly. "Good afternoon, Mr. Spider," said Leopard. "How do you fare in all this wet weather?" Now Spider was lazy and very naughty, but he was not stupid. He knew at once that Leopard's voice was much too sweet. "I am well, Mr. Leopard, but I am in a great hurry," he answered, and with that Spider jumped behind a great palm leaf, and Leopard could not find him no matter how he tried. Leopard was so angry. He roared a roar that echoed against the hills. He sharpened his claws, and his eyes turned green. "Never mind," he thought after a few minutes. "I will go to Spider's house. I will hide behind his door and wait for him to come back. Then I will eat him, and if he brings any food, I will eat that too." Leopard went up the path from the river. He went into the Spider's little house, which was made of banana leaves. There he made himself into a round ball. He put his nose on his great paws, sat down, and waited. Haven't I already told you that Spider was not stupid? He guessed exactly what Leopard would do, and so he took some time to think how he should handle the matter. First, he went to the river and caught some fish left in the traps by the people. Then he went to the farm and ate a cassava, for it is the custom that a hungry man can help himself to as much food as he needs, and no one will mind. When he had enough to eat, Spider spent the afternoon looking for all his friends. He stayed away from his house for as long as he could. Finally, it began to get dark. The sky filled with clouds, and once again, the rain began to fall. At last, Spider had to go home, so he went up the path that led past the river and near his little house made of banana leaves. Spider looked at the earth to see if Leopard had left any track. He listened to see if Leopard made any sound. He saw nothing and he heard nothing. Still, he knew the ways of Leopard, and he decided to try something else. So he kept walking down the path humming to himself, just as though he thought, thinking of nothing. Suddenly he cried out, "Ho, my banana leaf house!" Nobody answered. Everything was silent. Spider walked a little nearer. Still there was silence. Nobody said anything. "That's funny," said Spider loudly. "My little house always answers me when I call her. I wonder what is wrong." Once again, with all his might, he shouted, "Oh, my banana leaf house! How are you?" And from deep inside the house came a small, high voice. "I'm fine, Mr. Spider. Come on in." Then Spider burst out laughing. "Now I know where you are, Mr. Leopard, and you shall never catch me." he said, and then with that he ran as quick as a flash through the window and up to the highest corner of the ceiling. Leopard could not catch him, although he tried and tried. Spider was warm and dry, and safe in the ceiling. I suppose that is why he decided to live there, and he is living there still. I decided to stage my performance outside on my balcony because initially while I read the stories, I was transported to the outdoors and open areas. Although I cannot replicate the sounds of the African jungle, I thought the sounds of my urban jungle would add an interesting aspect to the story. In regards to props, I decided on a minimalistic approach. By only using my body, such as using my hands to represent rain falling, I sat down while telling the story because I felt the piece did not require me to move around my space, but rather express my emotions through my upper body and facial expressions. I believe the intended audience for the story is younger children, and so I decided to set the mood as a playful piece. Since the piece was playful, my nonverbal cues included a faster pace, quicker movements, and lots of smiling. However, at some moments in the piece, the mood was sadder because of the continuous rain and hungry animals, and so at those points, my rate of speech was slower and my pitch was lower. The vocalics I decided to focus on this piece were pitch, quality, and volume. The pitch of my voice varied between my readings as the storyteller, spider, or leopard. While I was reading this as the storyteller, my pitch was higher and I spoke as I normally would. Whereas when I read the story as spider and leopard, my pitch was lower, since both characters were male. I changed my vocal quality when I switched between the voice of the spider and of the leopard. When I think of the spider, I think of a cunning but lazy man, so I tried to match my tone of voice to that. One of my favorite vocal qualities was that of the leopard when he pretends to be Spider's banana leaf house. I had fun working with different possible voices. When I focused on my volume, I thought of a rainstorm and how its volume would vary between loud thunderous sounds and silent pitter-patter of raindrops on rocks. At some moments in the story, my volume was loud, such as when Spider is speaking to his house, and at other moments my volume was quiet, such as when I described how Leopard creeped down the path while hunting. I really enjoyed interpreting this story, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I had fun recording it. Thank you!